This is the fer-de-lance, which is widely regarded as the most dangerous snake in all of Latin America. And this is the wandering spider, which is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous spiders in the world. These are just two of the many animals I caught while in Costa Rica. I explored the country coastline to coastline, searching for the most bizarre and dangerous animals possible. And here are my greatest encounters. My journey started on the Pacific coastline of Costa Rica, which looks exactly like Isla Nublar, the island from my favorite movie, Jurassic Park. In this area, I was searching for alien-like creatures in the tide pools. So, as we're looking through these tide pools, as we get closer and closer to the actual surf break, that's where we're probably going to come across, of course, deeper pools, which is going to mean some larger animals. You never know when you're out here tide pooling, so I think it's best if we start working our way towards the surf break, see what we can come across. After coming across many different sea hares, tiny urchins, and some other creatures, I found this little brittle star, which is just about as alien-like as it gets. And trust me, these guys are just as spiky as they look, but luckily for me, they are a non-venomous species. Moving beyond the tide pools, the Pacific coast is also home to many fascinating sea creatures, like sharks, rays, octopuses, and eels. I went diving off the incredibly remote location of the Bat Islands, and to say that the conditions were wonky would definitely be an understatement. Visibility was around 30 feet and the current was ripping, and at the same time I was surrounded by massive female bull sharks, which I really couldn't see most of the time. Contrary to popular belief, most sharks are quite afraid of the noise of bubbles underwater, so they didn't get very close to me while diving, but you can see the distinct outline of this bull shark right here. I also found this tiny little octopus hiding in the rocks. This is probably the smallest octopus I've seen in the wild, and boy do they camouflage well. I can't believe I was able to pick this individual out. Along the backside of the islands, I came face to face with white-tip reef sharks, eels, and the biggest schools of jackfish I have ever seen. Moving away from the coastlines and into the thickness of the Costa Rican jungle, I spent some time at the Costa Rican Amphibian Research Center on the Caribbean side of the country, which is by far the most biodiverse location I have ever been to. Now, nighttime is when things really start to get spooky, but there's also plenty to see here during the day, including my favorite amphibian species, the poison dart frog. Can you pick out the poison dart frogs in this frame right here? I would sure hope that you can, because camouflaging is not really their strong suit. Their incredibly bright colors serve as a warning to potential predators that they are poisonous, and will probably make it to the last meal of that predator's life if they were to try and eat it. This coloration is known as aposematic coloration, and it's fairly common among poisonous and venomous creatures. And don't worry, I'm relatively safe free handling these frogs, as long as I don't get anything into my eyes, nose, or mouth. I also got face to face with the notorious bullet ant during the daytime hours. I located a nest by this tree right here, and I was able to successfully catch a bullet ant. Right in this container is the infamous bullet ant. So let's go up a little ways off of this trail here to where it's a little more controlled, and let's do the bullet ant challenge. Now, the bullet ant is known for having one of, if not the worst, insect sting in the world. It's said to put you in excruciating pain. So of course, I just had to free handle one. This ant had every opportunity in the world to sting me, but this test proves that venom is a precious resource, and animals, whether a bullet ant or a snake, don't use it unless they absolutely have to. But as day turns into night, the entire ecosystem around me changed. The larger predators emerged from hiding to hunt during the nighttime hours, which makes trekking through the environment all that more dangerous. Same exact color and pattern as a fer-de-lance, so I have to take my time out here, really scan all of my surroundings. The absolute last thing we can have happen out here is to accidentally step on top of a fer-de-lance, get bit, and then immediately have to rush to the hospital. So that is why you're gonna see me very much taking my time just like this, because they blend in so well. I really have to take in my surroundings. Now, I did come across my fair share of friendly animals, like the incredibly iconic red-eyed tree frog, glass frog, and many others in between. But as time went on, I was bound to run into something creepy, and that's exactly what I experienced with this massive female tarantula. Yeah, if you have arachnophobia, this is probably the last thing you want to see. But believe it or not, I wanted to handle this spider before she abruptly went down into her hole. Now, if you think that's creepy, wait until you meet this individual. This is widely regarded as the second most dangerous spider species in the world, the Brazilian wandering spider. Now, they can get to nearly twice this size, and they do come in a wide range of colors. But a bite from this individual is certainly no joke. This is a spider species I did not want to free handle. Moving on, while planning for Costa Rica, I had to prepare myself for dozens of different species of snakes. It seems like every corner you turn out here brings you face to face with another slithering serpent. This right here is a snail-eating snake, which is only mildly venomous but not prone to biting, which made me feel safe to free handle it. This right here is a cat-eyed snake, which I saw plenty of while in Costa Rica. They are mildly venomous but not prone to biting either, which is why I got so incredibly close. But after enough time, I went from finding small, relatively harmless snakes to the most dangerous one in all of Latin America. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is bio landmine number 1 out here. We have a fer-de-lance. Now this is probably a sub-adult fer-de-lance. Oh, look at that. That, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is the most dangerous snake in all of Latin America. This snake right here is called the fer-de-lance, and it is responsible for 90% of all venomous snake deaths in Central and South America. This is definitely the most dangerous snake species I have ever worked with, which says a lot because I've been up close with a lot of different venomous snakes, including water moccasins and eastern diamondback rattlesnakes. This guy isn't quite as big as the fer-de-lance I saw earlier, but coming in at nearly 3.5 to 4 feet in length, yeah, that's still a mean individual. The fer-de-lance is packed with a hemotoxic venom that destroys red blood cells and tissue, and is responsible for the most bites every single year in Latin America. Let's just say a bite from this guy requires an immediate visit to the emergency room, as they have nearly a 10% death rate with their bites. During this interaction, we did have some close calls with the snake. Position, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Selena, move, 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 move. But getting up close with this individual was one of the greatest moments of my career. Just whatever you do, please do not replicate this maneuver. I have been dreaming of getting the fer-de-lance up close in front of the camera for you guys for so long. I've spent many years dreaming of coming down here to Costa Rica just to film the fer-de-lance, and I'm so incredibly excited that we were able to get it done here tonight. But the night is still pretty young. There is still a lot of animals to be discovered. So I just needed this quick breather to kind of recap what we went through, but let's continue the search. Whew. Costa Rica is one of the most biodiverse locations on the planet, and during my 10 days there, I got up close with so many different fascinating creatures. From 60 feet underwater in the Pacific Ocean, to the rugged coastlines and tide pools, and inland to the thick rainforest, you never know what you'll come across while exploring the beautiful ecosystems of Costa Rica.